The massive AGT stage glows under thousands of lights as a small, nervous boy steps into view. Barely 13, he clutches the microphone tightly, his eyes scanning the towering audience before him. Dressed in simple clothes, he looks out of place among the glitter and glamour of America's Got Talent. The judges, Simon, Sophia, Heidi, and Howie, exchange quick glances, their curiosity piqued. The crowd murmurs softly, unsure of what to expect from this quiet Filipino kid standing alone in the spotlight. His voice trembles slightly when he introduces himself. "My name is Arvin," he says, his accent clear and gentle. "I came from the Philippines." The audience cheers softly in support, sensing his nervousness. Simon leans forward, his expression serious but intrigued, asking, "Why did you come to America's Got Talent?" Arvin swallows hard, his small hands gripping the microphone. "I want to sing, for my family," he says. "We don't have much, but my mother always told me, never stop dreaming." A hush falls over the crowd. In that single sentence, his truth hits home, the story of a boy who dared to dream beyond poverty, beyond struggle, beyond distance. The cameras zoom in, capturing the shine of determination in his eyes. The stage feels enormous compared to his small frame, yet there's something powerful about his presence, as if this moment has been waiting for him his whole life. The music technician cues the track. Arvin nods slightly, inhaling deeply, the way someone does when they're about to give everything they have. The theater grows still, no laughter, no whispering, just silence and anticipation. Simon gives a small nod to encourage him. Arvin looks down for a second, perhaps remembering his family watching from home, the nights he sang on dusty streets to earn a few coins, the moments his mother told him that his voice could change everything. He raises the microphone and closes his eyes. In that breath before the first note, you can feel his heart beating, his dreams trembling on the edge of reality. The light above him warms his face, and for a fleeting second, the poor boy from a distant village stands as if he belongs among stars. As the first gentle piano notes echo through the theater, Arvin stands motionless, eyes closed, gathering his courage. Then, his voice emerges, soft at first, almost fragile, but within seconds, it fills the entire auditorium with stunning clarity. The tone is pure and haunting, the kind of voice that stops hearts and silences rooms. The chatter in the audience fades to nothing. Every person in the hall, from the judges to the camera crew, seems to hold their breath. Simon's skeptical expression melts into quiet astonishment, and Sophia presses her hands to her chest, already fighting back tears. It's not just singing, it's storytelling through sound. Every note carries years of struggle, love, and hope. The boy doesn't just perform, he pours his entire soul into each lyric. As the melody builds, Arvin's voice grows stronger, soaring through the high notes with unexpected power. The crowd begins to lean forward, drawn in by the raw emotion that radiates from him. There's no flashy production, no dancers, no fancy lights, just one microphone, one boy, and a voice that sounds like it was meant to heal hearts. You can see people wiping away tears in the audience, their faces illuminated by the stage lights. The judges exchange looks that say everything: shock, admiration, disbelief. Arvin opens his eyes briefly, as if realizing that the crowd has disappeared into his world. For a moment, he forgets his fear, forgets the cameras, and sings like he's back in his small village, where his mother would listen from the doorway, smiling proudly. The emotion in his performance deepens with every verse. His voice trembles at the edges, but it never breaks. It's the kind of imperfection that makes it human, makes it real. When he reaches the song's bridge, the power behind his voice sends chills through the entire auditorium. Even Simon, known for his stoicism, can't hide the glimmer in his eyes. The camera pans across the audience. Hands cover mouths, tears slide down cheeks, and the energy in the room shifts completely. Arvin doesn't know it yet, but at that very moment, he has already captured millions of hearts. By the time he reaches the final line, the silence before the applause feels sacred, like the world is holding its breath, just for him. As the song reaches its emotional peak, Arvin closes his eyes tightly, gripping the microphone with both hands. His small frame trembles, but his voice rises with power and passion far beyond his years. The lyrics carry a wave of emotion that hits every heart in the theater. It feels as though he's singing not just words, but his life story, the hardship, the hunger, the nights without electricity, the endless hope that one day his voice would be heard. The orchestra swells behind him, and he steps slightly forward, his face glowing in the golden stage light. His voice soars effortlessly into the high notes, clear and strong, echoing through the massive hall. Each note vibrates with sincerity, piercing the silence and filling the space with raw beauty. The audience can't contain themselves anymore. People begin to stand, cheering him on mid-performance, their eyes wet with tears. A woman in the front row clasps her hands together and whispers, "Oh my God." The camera cuts to Simon, who leans back in his chair, visibly moved, his jaw tightening as he fights emotion. Sophia and Heidi exchange looks of pure awe, both dabbing at their eyes. Howie shakes his head in disbelief, muttering, "He's unbelievable." The lights intensify as the music builds, bathing Arvin in a warm golden glow. It's not just a performance anymore, it's a moment of transcendence, a young boy turning pain into something powerful and eternal. Arvin hits the final chorus with everything he has, his voice breaking slightly but beautifully, showing every ounce of human vulnerability. The crowd erupts into applause before the song even ends, but he keeps singing, lost in the music, tears now running freely down his face. When he finally holds the last note, the sound stretches through the air, lingering like a heartbeat. The entire audience rises to their feet in a thunderous standing ovation that shakes the room. The lights dim slightly as Arvin lowers the microphone, breathing heavily, eyes still closed. For a second, there's nothing but the echo of his final note, and then the world explodes into cheers. In that moment, the poor Filipino boy who once sang on dusty streets stands as a star, his dream no longer just a dream but a reality being born before everyone's eyes. The applause thunders through the hall, echoing like a storm. Golden lights sweep over the crowd as people cheer, whistle, and shout his name. Arvin stands frozen in the middle of the stage, his tiny hands trembling around the microphone. His chest rises and falls as he tries to catch his breath, disbelief written all over his face. Tears glisten in his eyes as he looks out at the sea of people standing for him, strangers who have become witnesses to his dream. The camera pans to the judges' table, where Sophia and Heidi are wiping tears from their cheeks, both visibly emotional. Howie claps enthusiastically, leaning forward with a huge smile. Simon, usually the toughest to impress, sits perfectly still for a moment, his face soft and thoughtful, before slowly standing up with the rest of the crowd. The audience quiets down as Simon leans into his microphone. "You know," he says slowly, his voice slightly cracking, "every once in a while, a performance reminds us why this show exists." That was one of those moments. The audience cheers again, louder this time. Arvin covers his face in disbelief, overwhelmed by the emotion. Sophia adds, "You sang from your soul, and we all felt it." "That was beautiful." Heidi nods, saying, "You touched every heart in this room." Howie, smiling warmly, adds, "You're the kind of talent this world needs, pure, real, and full of heart." The crowd roars with approval, chanting Arvin's name. The boy looks down, tears streaming down his cheeks, whispering softly, "Thank you." Simon exchanges glances with the other judges, a spark of decision in his eyes. The crowd begins chanting louder now, "Golden buzzer. Golden buzzer. Golden buzzer." The tension builds, every camera focused on Simon as he looks back at the audience and then at Arvin. His expression softens, a rare look of pride and emotion. "You know what," Simon says, stepping forward, his hand hovering over the button. The music in the background swells, anticipation thick in the air. Arvin's eyes widen, his heart pounding. The entire audience rises again, screaming in excitement. Simon smiles slightly and says, "You deserve this." Then, with a single, powerful press, his hand slams down. The moment Simon's hand hits the golden buzzer, the theater explodes into a storm of emotion. A powerful burst of golden confetti shoots into the air, swirling down like a magical rain. The music swells, and Arvin gasps, covering his mouth in disbelief. His knees give out as he falls to the stage floor, crying uncontrollably, tears of joy, relief, and fulfillment all at once. The judges rise to their feet, clapping and cheering as the golden lights shimmer across the stage. The crowd screams his name, waving their hands high, some holding up phones to capture the once-in-a-lifetime moment. The host rushes onto the stage, helping Arvin to his feet, but he's too overwhelmed to speak. His small body shakes as he cries, his face lit up by the falling gold. From backstage, his mother suddenly appears, running toward him with tears streaming down her face. She wraps him in her arms tightly, both of them sobbing together as the confetti rains over them. The camera zooms in on Simon, who walks toward the stage, clapping slowly, a rare smile spreading across his face. He says softly, "You have no idea how special you are." That voice, it's going to change your life. The audience cheers even louder as Arvin nods through his tears, unable to find the words to reply. Sophia shouts, "You did it," while Heidi blows a kiss toward him. The camera captures the confetti sparkling under the lights, turning the stage into a golden dream. Arvin looks up, raising his hands toward the ceiling as if thanking the universe, his mother still holding him. The emotion is so raw, so genuine, that even Simon wipes the corner of his eye discreetly. The crowd begins chanting his name, Arvin. Arvin. Arvin, as he waves shyly, smiling through tears. For one powerful moment, the poor Filipino boy who came from nothing stands bathed in gold, no longer the nervous kid who walked onto the stage, but a star born from struggle, hope, and heart. The camera fades out on his tearful face, the golden confetti still falling, symbolizing a dream that finally came true before the eyes of the world.